it's magnetized to my shirt, and you know how the back of a pin is usually like a little piece of metal? It's another battery back there. So this thing is just kind of sitting on my chest with a whole bunch of weight and battery and heat. And it does what it says it's supposed to do, but I guess...
Does it?
Here's my my number one overarching thought when using it. Yo, what is good, people of the internet? Welcome back to another episode of the Waveform podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Marques.
I'm Andrew.
And it's David.
Yo.
I wasn't expecting the yo.
It caught me off guard. I saw you like turn your head around.
Yeah.
You gotta change it up sometimes. We got a whole bunch of stuff for this week. We have some thoughts on Android's new Find My network. Also, the pin that I'm wearing is a product. It's a tech product, believe it or not. We'll talk about the Humane AI Pin. And we'll wrap it up with our favorite segment, Headlines in a Hat. Also, I apologize if I stutter over words a lot more today, or a little more. I'm missing several of my teeth. I'll leave it at that.
Just leave it there.
Yeah, I'll just leave it there.
Cool.
That's it.
Use your imagination, dear listener, to know what happened.
Yeah, video listeners have figured it out already. Audio listeners are picturing various things right now. One of them could be correct.
Wait, why did the video listeners?
Well, because they can see which teeth I'm missing.
Can they?
Or not missing.
They're way in the back of your jaw.
Well, now they know. But like, spoiler alert, if you just heard that I was missing several teeth and didn't see me, it could be any of the teeth.
I feel like you did have an interesting enough experience that it is worth the story.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I got my wisdom teeth taken out on Friday
By the earthquake.
It's been a couple of days, and I'm figuring out how to talk again. But also, that was the same day that we had an earthquake in New Jersey.
It was the same hour.
It was exactly the same hour that we had an earthquake, and apparently the surgeon popped his head out into the waiting room and was like, "Hey, did you guys feel that?" And then went back to taking the rest of my teeth out. So I'm fine now, but who knows what was going on during those minutes.
Nice.
Either way, we got to talk about. I'll save the pin for later. We got to talk about Android's. Oh, wait, the solar eclipse.
Yes.
We were just on a video shoot.
Yeah.
Okay, we've all seen the solar eclipse.
Yeah.
In totality.
Yeah.
You guys.
Wow.
Had
We've
it.
all seen
No,
it.
I
Yeah.
saw it in 2017.
Yeah.
Bro, I was standing right next to you.
Hasn't seen. Have you ever seen?
Yeah, I saw the last one in 2017.
Okay, so we've all
seen a total solar.
solar
I was
eclipse.
on the
Okay.
plane with you this morning coming home.
We've all seen it.
He's missing teeth. Give him time. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm still processing things. No, it was awesome. We went and I promise you it was a coincidence, but we went and shot a video on something in the middle of Ohio this past week and booked it before I knew that there was an eclipse at the same time. And then the eclipse news started bubbling up and everyone's going, this is the coolest one ever. This is the one that's going right through the heart of the US. And I was like, oh, this is so sick. I kind of want to see it. And so I looked it up on the calendar and I saw that we were already shooting something. And I was like, dang,
Yeah.
we're already shooting something. Wait a second.
We're already shooting something.
And we're already shooting something. And I looked it up and we were shooting in the path of the totality, right in the smack in the middle of it. And it was absolutely worth it. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. For people that have not seen a total solar eclipse, I feel like the way that the media portrayed it was there was all this hype built up around it, right? Because a lot of the US media is like, oh, total solar. And the difference between a 90% solar eclipse and a 100% solar eclipse
It's
is
not even
10
close.
billion percent.
The difference between 99 and 100 is drastic.
It's so big. So everyone in New York that I knew, I'm the only one that left New York for it. I went to Ohio as well. I was probably an hour from you guys.
Probably, yeah.
But everyone that I knew in New York was getting so excited for it. And then the actual thing happened. And every single person messaged me and was like, well, that was underwhelming. And I was like, bro, you don't understand how sick it is when you actually get the total solar eclipse.
I think I have a video of all of us yelling.
Our reactions.
There's definitely, you're right. I was waiting for it. I was like, this is going to be cool. This is going to be cool. And then it happened and we were all like, what is going on?
Kind of feels like you're in a sci-fi movie, but it's actually happening.
So-
and it gets cold, which is amazing.
Yeah. So my favorite part was there was an app that I was using. I forgot the name of it. I downloaded it before because it was some Eclipse tracker app, and it looks at your location, tells you what to expect. And then the day of, I open it and it's like $3 now, and I was like, okay, fine.
Wow.
So it definitely got a lot of
you
money that day.
hostage.
But that app gave us like a countdown of, based on your location, here's the timeline leading up to totality of what to expect. So it was like an hour before, you can start looking at the eclipse and start seeing it happening. And
With the glasses.
you put the glasses on and you see the little chunk taken out of the sun, and you're like, oh, that's crazy. That's super cool. And we've actually had a partial solar eclipse here before, so I've seen this before.
Right.
And outside, if you're just walking around, you could just not have any idea that that's happening, conceivably.
Yeah.
Other than people looking around with their glasses at the sky. You get to, half an hour before the eclipse, before totality, and the light starts to change a little bit, and you start to notice it's a little bit darker, just a little bit dimmer out.
Yeah.
There was like 25 minutes before, then 15 minutes before. And you started getting to the point where shadows were different and the light in the sky was different. And we were actually setting up our first shot of the day, and we had our cameras out. And because the sun was dimmer, it looked like the dynamic range of the cameras was immense.
Yeah.
Because you could see the blue of the sky behind us.
Yeah.
And spoiler, we actually shot the intro of this video on the other side of the eclipse, so it was still like partial light. I think it looks incredible.
That's awesome.
The whole time, Brandon, our cinematographer, kept being like, everything looks like it's in log right now.
it's
That's
so
kind of
accurate.
true. Yeah, there's all these really amazing things that happen during the total eclipse. Like there's everything kind of looks a little bit flat, but there's a 360 degree sunset that happens. That's freaking amazing. It gets colder. The animals they all think it's nighttime.
This
so
is
they
all
do
in the app, yeah.
Yeah, they do
It
all
was
their nighttime rituals.
5 minutes before, a cool breeze will
Yeah,
drift in,
yeah.
and like it'll really start getting darker. And then 1 minute before,
Yeah.
when it's really dark, you're like, okay, this is very different from the partial eclipse.
Yeah, it's so sick.
And then it hits the moment that it actually hits totality, and then you're in it for maybe 2-3 minutes of
We
totality.
were like 4.
or four solid minutes. We were in the middle of the path, and
Yeah.
just staring at it without the glasses was life changing.
yeah, it was amazing.
It's not, I kind of assumed it'd be like, oh, it's like getting darker. But it was like, oh, it's getting darker, and then it's nighttime.
Yeah.
Like you can feel the moment where it's like someone flipped the switch.
Here's all of us reacting to it happening.
Do you have the moment?
Holy
yeah.
This is, no one knew I was filming that. That was just like, I wish the video, because your phone like adapts for the like
I know,
darkness,
you
which
have
so
to
it doesn't
exposure
look
lock it.
But so
Yeah.
it lit, all of us were just sitting there, and it just like, and then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, what is going on?
Yeah, this was mine.
Here we are. Wow. Oh, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we can look at it now?
Oh, it's dark. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that wasn't exciting.
The app gave me a countdown, so it was like 10 seconds to totality, and right around 10 seconds, everything starts like accelerating the sunset. And you're
That
like,
was my
this is
video.
crazy.
Yeah, I didn't actually capture video at totality because I was like hurrying to get pictures because I shot on my 4x5 and I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
So it was a lot, but yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I hate to be that person that's like, you have to experience it to understand, but if you ever in your lifetime get the chance to go a little out of your way to experience totality,
Yeah.
it is worth it.
Do it.
1,000%.
I will be doing it again.
And that was just the second coolest thing we did in Ohio.
Shit, bro, that was the coolest thing we did.
Skyline chili.
Skyline chili, bro.
Not even close.
Chili, beans, cheese, onions, spaghetti.
You forgot something. Cheese.
More cheese.
More cheese.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, one more thing. Cheese. Even more.
I think the cheese.
Yeah, that was there too. For sure. Yeah. No, I saw a clip the other day. Actually, my two favorite things that come out of this. One, obviously everyone's pictures, but there's a meme of like the Google Trends graph of my eyes hurt and how it spiked over time through the path of totality.
Yeah.
Hilarious. I hope everyone uses their special glasses. Two is appreciating like the cosmos a little bit.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen on any other planet. This is only an Earth thing.
What?
Wait, it doesn't happen with the moon? Any of the moons of the other planets?
The size of our moon
Oh.
is perfect in its reference, in its ratio to how far away the sun is. So the sun is 400 times further away from Earth than the moon, and it's 400 times what small, bigger in the sky or whatever, smaller, whatever the ratio is.
Yeah.
It matches perfectly here on Earth because of those ratios, and only here on Earth.
And I'm
And
alive.
that's
Crazy.
Well, and that's finite because the moon's getting further away from the
Exactly.
Earth. So,
Yeah.
I mean, all of
Oh, if
our
the moon's
lifetime.
getting further away, we will get more.
No,
No, it'll
the
get
opposite.
smaller
One day,
because it's
one
getting
day-
further away, so it'll be smaller from
One day we
us.
won't have a total anymore.
Yeah,
Oh, that
Oh,
sucks.
we always will.
Yeah, we were alive.
I'm definitely going to the next one, which is in 2.5 years in Spain and or Iceland.
Yeah. I will say, as someone that was here for the partial eclipse, if you've seen the partial and you're like, I kind of get it, you don't.
No,
Totality
not even
is,
close.
totality is
You don't.
different.
Not even close. Yeah, it's huge. It's super cool.
Yeah.
So, and the thing we were talking about this. I want to see like all these natural phenomena, and Iceland is low key a good spot to go for aurora borealis, and that only happens when it's dark, and it's dark during totality. And you can probably see where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
There's a small chance
Large chance.
that
Oh, you mean small chance that happens?
there's a small chance that you go to Iceland and it gets dark really quick, and then you instantly see the totality and aurora borealis at the same time.
And it's not cloudy.
I would die.
That's
Iceland
a
weather, yeah.
super low chance.
I'm going to do it anyway, bro.
It's
super low chance.
You're telling me there's a chance though?
I'm gambling with fate.
I want to see that.
I don't know if it gets that dark during totality. Totality got dark, but it has to be like pitch black to see aurora
Yeah,
borealis.
that's a
Oh,
really
really?
good point.
No.
It depends
Unless
on
it's like a solar flare or something at the same time, which like that would be crazy.
Yo,
Maybe there will
that's-
be.
I know,
There's
seeing a
a
solar
chance.
flare.
There's a chance.
That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
best time to see a solar flare.
Did you guys see the solar things that were coming off the sun?
The corona.
has little beads.
The little beads? Yeah. Yeah, I took some pictures.
Classic David sentence.
And look
No
at the little
way.
red spots coming off the sun.
Yeah.
They're so
Jeez.
cool.
I think Bill Nye was saying that's how we learned about those. Is
Who's
through
Bill
an
Nye?
eclipse. What? The homie Bill?
You're supposed to say the science.
Bill.
guy.
Oh.
The science guy? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how we discovered.
Coronas.
Yeah. Is through eclipses being able to, because you can't look at the sun
Right.
and see it,
Oh, right.
but that blocks out
I mean,
enough
you
sun
can.
that
It
you
just
can
hurts.
see it.
Just
Also-
kidding.
Do
Don't look at the sun.
not
Don't
look at the sun.
Sorry. Okay.
Apparently, also, a lot of other planets are visible during the eclipse because the sun is like
saw
shining
Venus.
on them, but not on
What?
other stuff.
We saw Venus like instantly.
Who? No one told me that. What?
As soon as
Where
it
was
got dark.
I?
You didn't see it?
It was
No.
announced. It was announced.
You can see it.
for
Look
it.
back at your pictures. It's probably in your pictures.
Yeah, no, it was announced.
Is it near the sun?
This is horse.
It's near the
No
sun.
one-
Dude, no, we didn't.
Man.
It's just another sparkly bit. It's not
Yeah, it's like a
like
bright star, kind of.
You didn't miss much.
I bet if you look back at your pictures of Venus, you'll see like a really bright one. And you're like, what is that?
I'm watching that video back,
Right.
and if I don't hear any of you talk about Venus, I'm gonna be.
I
upset.
promise you, Andrew, you didn't miss the cool part.
Yeah, you saw the cool part.
Yeah, Skyline. I was right there.
Skyline, baby.
Speaking of things that affect
Space.
the whole
Looking for
world,
things. Oh,
Speaking
yeah.
of things you have to find,
Yeah.
Like the eclipse.
like the
Or Venus.
like Venus in the
Venus.
sky.
that was rough. Android's Find My network is here.
Finally.
We just got notifications about this. If you're on your phone, you got a notification. Ideally, all Android phones and tablets will have Find My device. Find My device trackers are coming, and we'll be able to use Android devices to find things.
Yes, but you can also use yeah. Yeah.
Because you
it's
can
like
already
it's an-
find My Android.
Yeah.
That's already a thing. But Find My device trackers, like AirTags, for example, will use Apple's Find My iPhone network. And anytime someone nearby gets close enough to it, it'll ping and update its location. Similar concept with Android now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing.
Right.
Can I ask a nerdy question?
Sure.
So, like, the Apple Find My network is enabled by the U1 chip. Is that
No, that is just for the
That's just for
millimeter wave
precise
like precision
finding.
When you're in and it like points you in the direction inside your house.
That's the only thing the U1 chip does.
like when you're within range of it.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's like Bluetooth and yeah, mesh networking.
really?
Yeah.
It's got to be low power.
The U chip means ultra wideband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought that was how it was communicating with all the other U1 chip devices, and
No,
that's what formed the mesh network.
No, definitely not.
No,
because ultra wideband does not go through walls or anything.
The iPhone has one built in, and the AirTags have one built in. So when they were like announcing it, that was the like precision thing.
Yeah.
But if you just want to find another iPhone, it can direct you to like the building on the street, just like with its regular
Broadly.
mesh network.
Yeah.
Broadly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are some very special stuff that they're doing with this as well. Your device now doesn't need to be connected to a Wi-Fi network. It can be found via Bluetooth, just like Apple devices. But the Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro can even be found if the device is dead. Google says this is due to specialized Pixel hardware, and it wants to expand that hardware to other high-end Android devices in the future.
How long till Pixel 7 and less has this exact same
Galaxy
feature?
S24 Ultra. I don't know. I mean, it sounds like it's something that doesn't require the separate battery from the phone or something like that. But that's pretty cool. You can also now use Nest speakers as reference points for your trackers. So like if you have multiple different Nest devices in your house, the closer it is to whatever one in any given room, it will be like, it was in the living room, which is cool.
Smart.
Do you, sorry, I'm going to interrupt a little bit, but like at first I was like, this sounds really cool because I leave my phone around the house all the time and always need to look for it. And it's one of my favorite things about my watch by being able to
Ring
do
your
the
phone.
like,
Ping
do
it?
you guys do that ever?
I don't use an Apple
All
Watch.
the time.
You can ping
you
your
don't.
phone. Yeah.
Pinging, but do you
do it from my
use that
computer.
like,
If I ever, I don't leave my phone very often, but if I do,
Wow, you're so much
I
better
probably-
than everyone, Marquez.
it's just in my pocket all the time. It's actually a problem.
I
But
probably use that feature like twice a day.
nice. Yeah.
Best feature ever, which is where like, I like that. I probably wouldn't need it because I can just, actually, no, that would be nice for if like Lane is sleeping and I don't want to, if I'm worried I left my phone in her room and then it just goes bring while she's trying to sleep. Okay.
Yeah, the network is great because it used to be that you were only able to, like, if your phone was on and had cell data, that's when you could find your phone.
Yeah.
But now it's the same as the way that Apple does it, where it's like every other Android device in the world is
Like a beacon.
So if any other Android device walks by it, it's going to like ping its location, which is really handy. By default, there are going to be 3 different options. You can use without network, where your device just doesn't participate in the network, but you can still locate your offline devices using their stored recent locations when they were online, which is basically like if your phone dies, you'll see the location for when it died.
Yeah.
There is with network and high traffic areas only, which is the default that everyone will be opted into automatically, which is basically like you can locate using recent stored locations on the network in areas like airports or busy footpaths. And then there's with the network in all areas, so not just high traffic areas. It can also be in very low traffic areas. It just might use location info from your device. So yeah, it's very useful. And that's going to be awesome because I think that one of the things that currently keeps people in the Apple ecosystem is the ability to use these trackers. For example, whenever I'm on an Android phone, I keep an iPhone in my pocket as well, literally to use as a beacon device to find all my lost stuff because I lose things all the time and I have AirTags on everything.
How many AirTags are in your account, do you think?
I think 12,
Solid.
which I could use more.
I have like 8, and I have one in my car just so that every morning when I leave, I always forget where I park.
Yeah,
And I
it's
just
great.
pull out the phone and be like, oh yeah, I was on that street.
Right.
See, a lot of Android phones have a feature where as soon as you start driving and then you stop driving and start walking, it automatically goes, you probably parked here.
I have been waiting for that to pop up. It has not happened
Yeah.
in like 6 months. I get it like randomly.
It's kind of random how
It just
Interesting.
decides to work or not.
Wait, but if you have an AirTag in your car, then anyone who drives with you with an iPhone, do they get the notification like someone's following you?
Constantly.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that just fun to freak them out at that
I just
point?
tell them to deal with it because it's more valuable to
Okay.
me to be in there. Than
Yeah.
When someone says, "Oh my gosh, someone's stalking me," you go, "That's me."
Like, yeah, deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's great. It removes a little piece of Apple's walled garden. You know what's kind of funny though that I found interesting is the fact that the Nest integration seems a little bit first party ish. You know, like with Nest speakers, you'll be able to find it in the given rooms, and I'm like, is that gonna roll out to all smart speakers that aren't just Google, or is that only gonna be Nest? Because it said Nest specifically, which is interesting.
I wonder if you.
I feel like after the Apple lawsuit, I'm just like,
Yeah, you're like
letting
hyper
other,
aware.
letting other people do it.
I'm putting the equivalent in the Apple ecosystem where like if you have a HomePod specifically, then you can use this feature.
Which Apple would do.
Which they would totally do that.
Yeah, anytime. Yeah, they would have done that.
I mean,
already.
they do have.
Probably already do.
There's plenty of Google Assistant like licensed speakers out there, right?
Yeah.
Like there were other smart home devices that aren't Google. Do they still have those actually, or did those stop?
There
being a
are.
thing?
It's just that it specifically said Nest. That's why.
Yeah. I wonder if it's just now because like has something specific for it and could come out in the future. But it is weird that it only says that.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
I don't know. Anyway, that's exciting. Again, just like knocks it down a little brick in the walled garden, and now you can have an Android phone and not be so upset about it.
Yeah, find your stuff.
I'm not upset that I have an Android phone, David.
Well, I mean, I hate
constantly
carrying
angry.
two phones on me when I need an alternative to AirTags. That's all I'm saying.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
Well, we should take a quick break, and then we got to talk about all the headlines in the hat and also this pin that I've been wearing, just heating up my chest. But first, we should do trivia.
Do you know what's hotter? Trivia.
Segues are we're killing the segues today.
A little late. The timing was a little off.
That
but,
was good. Okay. First question is a science question.
Oh.
Whoa, no way. I
like
know
that.
that's crazy.
I'm gonna get
Where's
it
Bill?
wrong.
How many teeth do humans have? Price is Right rules.
Price is Right?
Damn right. That was Ellis's edition, and I love it.
I think I know.
I can't wait for the whole next conversation when I'm not participating and just counting the teeth in
Does
my
this
mouth.
count
with your
wisdom
tongue.
teeth before they get taken
Oh
out
yeah,
Yes.
like in your mouth at a time.
when you're born?
Adults typically have.
Not when you're born. You have no teeth when you're born.
Really?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I'm positive. I couldn't be more sure.
You think
I could not be more sure.
Yeah, you're biting on things to like.
Because your teeth are growing
so
in.
that your teeth can break through the gums?
It's like when your teeth first grow in.
Interesting.
I just counted the teeth in my mouth, so I'm just writing that answer. But you said before wisdom teeth get taken out. I'm writing how many teeth I have right now.
Okay, that's
Is that-
great answer.
I mean, that's a good thing to do because it's Price is Right rules. So you should be undercounting anyway.
Well, I had 4 more a week ago, so like
Yeah. So write
is
it
the
right
answer-
now. The answer is with the ones that you were supposed to have because I still have them.
okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. With the ones you were supposed to have. How many?
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you got some taken out recently, like someone did, just add those back in. Okay.
We'll count our
We'll
teeth.
have the answers at the end, as usual. We'll be right back. Support for this episode of Waveform comes from Gigabyte. So there's a lot of talk out there about how AI is revolutionizing our world. Computers are writing newsletters, robotic bees are pollinating flowers, and a new wave of driverless taxis are popping up in cities across the world. But how can AI power our passions and what we do for fun? That's where Gigabyte's AI gaming laptops come in. So its range of powerful and portable new laptops deliver cutting-edge performance for anyone looking to explore the brave new world of AI-powered gaming. Every 2024 Aorus machine comes equipped with the Gigabyte AI Nexus, which is like a central hub loaded with all the AI-powered features you could possibly hope for. That includes super useful tools like AI Power Gear, which automatically throttles and extends your computer's battery life depending on your power source and usage. You also get access to AI Boost, which optimizes performance based on what you're doing in that moment, whether you're ripping through a new FPS or running your own large language model. And AI Boost automatically adjusts the GPU and processors to maximize response and deliver unparalleled efficiency. Lastly, AI Generator includes various generative AI apps for quick startup. So all 2024 Gigabyte models seamlessly integrate with tools like OpenAI and Microsoft's Copilot AI chatbot. But the Aorus 16X and Gigabyte G6X take it to the next level with dedicated Copilot key, allowing users to swiftly tap into its productivity and generative AI capabilities. You know, we hear all the time that AI will change entire industries, but Andrew, David, can you guys think of any specific ways that AI can improve gaming?
Yeah, like inside games, I think NPCs and dialogue with AI, kind of like chatbots, is going to make way more creative and like a unique, immersive experience.
Yeah.
Speaking of bots, they have trained AIs to be much better bot players that you can play against. So they're way, way, way better than the way that they trained bots in the past.
Yeah.
Modern age AI, way better. You can get a lot better versus these bots. So,
Super useful.
yeah.
Well, all models are available to purchase right now. So if you go to aorus.com/laptops/gigabyte-AI, that's aorus.com/laptops/gigabyte-AI. Gigabyte. Team up, fight on. All right, welcome back. We should talk about the Humane AI Pin. It's finally out.
Whoops.
It's out. It's real.
It's out. You're wearing it
We've
right
been
now.
seeing like all the videos and like all the teasers and all the hype. Remember all the hype where we were like, what the heck is this product / company? We've talked about it on the podcast before. They were like raising gazillions of dollars and they had all these former Apple people. And we were like, what are they doing? They had stickers. They had everything, but we didn't know what they were making. And then we found out and now it's here. It's a pin with an AI assistant inside with a projector, a camera, a couple microphones and speakers, and batteries, and it's here.
First off, did we ever have a bet on what would actually come out first, the Pin or the Rabbit R1? Because I
I'm
thought the
not sure,
release
but-
date was originally R1.
Well, Rabbit made a big deal of the fact that they were releasing earlier because they were supposed to come out on Easter.
Yeah.
And then actually, you know what's funny about this? The Humane AI Pin was originally supposed to come out on the day of the eclipse.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing, and they like put their logo.
Their logo is an eclipse.
Is an eclipse, and they did that on purpose, and then they missed it.
Yeah.
And then the Rabbit R1 logo's a rabbit, supposed to be tied in with Easter, was supposed to come out on Easter, and then that got delayed.
It is remarkable. I mean, it seems like they've been developing in like parallel and like sort of pseudo racing each other, and it's kind of remarkable how close to each other they're launching, and they're both clearly rushing to just get it out.
The Rabbit started development in October.
That's insane.
That's when they came up with the idea.
I will say this. Okay.
Sorry, I sidetracked a little there.
No,
but I
that's
thought
a
I
good-
remember our Rabbit like talking smack that it was coming out earlier or something.
Yeah, they were.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the thing about
it
the
didn't. Now it
Rabbit,
didn't.
which we don't want to talk too long about, it's like a little box with one piece of software in it that runs on a little cheap computer and like has a camera in it. It's like I can understand how that didn't take forever to develop.
Yeah.
This is a $700 piece of hardware
Yeah.
with plus a $24 a month subscription with all the services and internet and its own phone number and all that I could see how it would take a while to develop because there are certain things, a lot of hardware in here that are actually very impressive. And, you know, they talk a big talk about how a lot of people came from Apple and like designed OG Apple products. I will say, as far as like how well built and how well made the materials are, it's the best part about the pin. It's metal. The magnets are extremely strong. The speakers are very audible in lots of situations. Like the tolerances are really tight. Everything fits together well. It's surprisingly well made. And I give it props for that. I think that's the best part about the AI pin. And I think making a projector this tiny probably took some time as well. So there's that.
Yeah. They went through a lot of it when they came and showed it off to us and like internal parts and stuff. And it was really impressive seeing all of the inner workings of it and how much thought had to go into making this do what it does.
You guys even see that?
Yeah, I just really is it even on the camera?
I'll put the mic on the other side so you can see it. So yeah, it's right here. It's on my chest. It's magnetized. God, there's so many fundamentals. I'll have you guys ask questions that you want to know about it. But here's the fundamentals of it: is it's a little AI in a box. It's your little helper. You can interact with it with your voice by just using this touchpad here and touching it and going, "What time is it?"
2:43 p.m.
So when you hold down, it's listening, and when you let go, it's not. So it's not always listening for a wake word or a hot word or something like that. It's just when you're touching it, then it's listening. And if you ever don't want to use audio, it also has a projector built in, which is impossible for me to show you from this angle, but I basically just hold my hand out in front of me, and a little UI appears on my hand, and it's projecting UI. And then as I move my hand around, I'm interacting with the UI of the pin, which is new. I've never seen that before. It's really, really unique. It's magnetized to my shirt, and you know how the back of a pin is usually like a little piece of metal? It's another battery back there. So this thing is just kind of sitting on my chest with a whole bunch of weight and battery and heat. And it does what it says it's supposed to do, but I guess...
Does it?
Here's my my number one overarching thought when using it. I really believe that tech can eventually make this like artificial assistant possible for regular people. Like, you know, CEOs and like executives and super rich people have like human assistants that like know everything about them and like book flights for them, get their calendar sorted, meetings, all that fun stuff. And for us regular people, we want like a virtual assistant, for lack of a better term. So like Google Assistant almost makes this promise of, look, we know all this stuff about you. We can help personalize results for you and like help you through your day and all this stuff. Super cool.
Yeah.
I think we can actually get to a point where tech can deliver the promise of like the virtual assistant, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
The problem with this one is it's a separate device from your phone. It doesn't pair to your phone. It's totally separate. And so it therefore doesn't know anything about you that your phone knows about you. Your phone knows a lot about you. Depends on what phone you have, but it knows a lot about you. This device has to learn over time and starts off at such a frustratingly low level that it's basically useless at the beginning until you start to talk to it and use it and get it to learn you. And the friction required to get it to the point of it knowing about you is so great because of all the other flaws that I don't think I'll ever get there. That's my problem with it.
I also want to throw out in there, like, I think a pretty easy thing to say is like, well, it will get to know you. Like, if you do just get past the friction point. But my biggest thing here, and we all were kind of talking about this, is like, even when it gets to know you, the fact that it's its own number and not connected to your phone is like, that means I have to make the choice of, am I communicate? Because one of the things it can do is like, tell me what's going on today. Like, what did I miss in my text messages? Send this text message to whoever, call this person. It's a different phone number. So now I have to be like, hey, David, I want you to, like, during the week, I'm wearing the Humane Pin. So can you use this number, like 9 to 5 on the weekdays? And can you...
Wait, it doesn't forward?
No.
Let's try
Not
it.
that I know of.
Let's try it right now.
Yeah.
Send Andrew a message saying, I'll be there in 10 minutes.
They should have done it with the hand UI.
It's not fast.
There are multiple matching contacts. Which one do you mean? Andrew at Andrew Lu Andrew Chris Andrew Sh
I'm none of those.
Yeah, what's Andrew in
Andrew
your phone as?
Manganelli.
Is this where you find out Andrew's number
Your
isn't saved in
message
your
to
phone?
Andrew at says, I'll be there in 10
Wrong
minutes.
person.
Okay to send?
Nope.
Message sent.
Canceling.
Wait, what? Actually, what contacts is it pulling from?
So at the beginning, you connect your Google, Apple, Microsoft, and Tidal accounts. So those are the contacts from my
You don't
Android
even have
phone.
me on Tidal?
I have my contacts in Google Contacts, so that should be pulling. I'm going to try it one more time.
Say my full name.
Tell Andrew Manganelli I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Your message to Andrew at says, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Okay to send?
Am I not in your phone? Can you confirm that
No.
I'm in your phone? The audience wants to know.
The audience is
Is this the first friendship ended by a Humane Pin?
Also, I want to say quick note to everyone listening and watching. When Marques does these demos, I'm not going to edit that. That is the time it takes.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
also
we're not-
multiple other Andrews here.
That's what it just went through. And that's
Yeah.
why I said full name, and it didn't work.
Damn, you put my name in here fast to prove that it was. No, I'm just kidding.
I just
No.
put Andrew.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
it did?
That's a thing.
Okay.
What if I...
Okay.
David? What? Let me try David.
Oh yeah, try me.
Because your name's in here too, right?
I hope so.
Whoops. Tell David ML I'll be there in 10 minutes.
I'm ready.
Bro,
There
it's
are
gonna be.
multiple matching contacts. Which one do you mean? David Nelson, David Bl, David Imo, David Bl, or David L.
What a flex! I just saw it. in there.
David Imel.
Come on. It's not how you pronounce my name, Pin.
Your message to David Imo says, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Okay to send?
Yes.
By the way, Marques could have done this in 4 seconds.
Well, if we get past that part though,
4 seconds?
we'll give it the benefit of the doubt that this is what it's
waiting.
trying.
Okay, I just gotta message from a random number saying I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Yeah. So I think the point where we're trying to illustrate, which is exactly what you just said, is this can do a bunch of things, but all of those things I could do infinitely faster or better on my phone.
Yeah.
Unless you're basically the one thing that this can achieve is if your goal is to spend less time on your phone, then technically you can do it.
And more time, frustratingly, working with the pin.
You will probably be very frustrated with the friction of using the pin.
I want to even give it the benefit of the doubt, though, on if you do want to use the pin in some cases. But now you have two completely separate
phone numbers,
forms of communication with David. So, like, you could be talking to him through the pin for a day, but then, like, that's not including the time you're using your phone. So unless it's completely taking over your phone, you are going to be using your phone sometimes. Now these are two totally different conversations. Are we going to double our text messages for every single person that we talk to in a week?
You were talking about, it can summarize all your messages.
Yeah.
And it can read you the things that you've received while you were in a meeting. That's only if the person texted this number.
I just did. So what happens? I just texted it back.
You texted it back.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, how do you know?
So there is a notification light at the top
that you have to look down at.
that I have to look down at.
Oh my God!
I can't see it very well, so it's not
You
really
didn't
doing
see
much.
it when I texted you back, so like,
Was there a vibration or anything?
There's no vibration.
Oh my goodness!
But I'm going to ask
Does it
if
have a haptic motor?
I haven't felt any
Can you
vibrations.
call it? What happens if he calls
Oh yeah, you should call it.
Wait, so can you?
So I'm going to ask if I have any messages. Do I have any messages?
David Imel said, okay, saying.
And it just reads it out loud, no matter what the message is.
Or if you put your hand out, it'll say it on your hand instead.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to call you now.
Yeah, call me.
Let's see how this works.
Let's see if it rings.
All right.
It should. And you see the light? Purple light?
But can you see the light now?
Oh, the lights?
The light.
That
yeah,
isn't a
purple.
spot. I feel like that would catch my eye. Oh.
How are we doing? Did I accept it?
I can hear you now.
I'm on the phone.
And
Hands
everyone
free.
else knows you're on the phone too.
So that's the thing. Yeah. If you try to use this pin in noisy environments or in public, you're just, everyone can hear everything around you. And if you want to engage with it in other ways, then you have to tap it and use the hand thing and try to, oh, you hung up. Okay. But the UI is on my hand now. And I received a message. So I'm going to say, oh, I have a missed call from David from before. Yep. There it is. And yeah, it technically works. It's kind of, it reminds me of Vision Pro a little bit.
Oh.
Because I'll get there.
Yeah, you need to clarify.
It reminds me of Vision Pro because clearly Vision Pro, a lot of people were like, what do I even do with this?
Yeah.
I want to be so amazed by the product, but I don't know if this fits in my life at all. But the tech and the fact that it works is pretty cool. I find some of the same things with this, where like the fact that the projector actually works, it's not even that good. It doesn't track my hand. It's not super readable, but the fact that it actually responds to my hand, that's kind of cool. But I don't have a place where this like makes sense in my life. Are there other people where this does more? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, if you're in a chance, oh, by the way, there's way more instances where it's like really, really heavy friction. But if you're in instances where you want to spend less time on your phone, that's where I feel like you're the best possible fit for this product. And even at that point, it's probably not great.
But what can it do? That's like...
I'll tell you what it does.
Okay, let's go.
So it's got the microphone and the speaker, and it has the large language model, and it can process what you're saying. And then it can either do on-device computation or go to the internet and look stuff up. So if you ask it questions about facts or ask it to tell you things or recommend you things in the area, what's some food around here? What's the weather tomorrow? How tall is this building? Stuff like that. It can do all of that, just like your phone. I'll say a lot of things, and I'll say just like your phone at the end because it's true about all of them.
Okay.
It can make phone calls and send text messages, just like your phone.
On a different number.
On a different phone number.
Okay.
It can take pictures and 30-second videos, just like your phone.
Sometimes.
All of these are very much dependent on how well it's working. But it can take pictures, it can take videos, it can send those pictures and videos, it backs them up to the cloud, it can play music, just like your phone.
In Bluetooth headphones, or
I think it can pair to
can
headphones
connect
as well.
Bluetooth, which is what you should do. Please don't play music out loud. I just
you can
The
walk around.
Personic, what do they call it? The individual sound bubble as advertised is not.
Well, so when they were explaining that to us, I think the bubble makes all of us think. I think it's less of it's a bubble where other people can't hear it and more of a bubble where it feels like you have a good sounding bubble around you, not that it. That's what, when they were explaining it to us, I took it as that, not as this like magical only you can hear it thing.
Yeah, I would say definitely if you want to wear headphones to have more personal audio, you probably should. It claims to have a sort of personalized audio bubble. I think that's some of the words that they were using. I feel like it's pretty close to just me holding up a small
Speaker,
like a small speakerphone. Nice. I can hear it pretty well. I also believe you guys can hear it pretty well. So I wouldn't call it private. I would just say it's audible, which is fine. I wouldn't listen to music walking around, but you could. That's basically what it does. And I would say all of the other things about a smartphone that are natural questions you have, like what's the battery life, how much storage, what apps are there, all of the answers hurt. All of the answers hurt. Mm-hmm. They do include a lot of hardware, I will say, for batteries. So like the back of this pin magnetized is another booster battery. And they include 2 batteries and then a little like charging case to charge the battery and like a little charger that sits on your desk. All these like nice accessories for different weights of clothing. The battery life, it's never made it through a day for me with all of the batteries included.
Can you also...
all the batteries.
All of the batteries.
Wait, can
now,
you ask
can
it?
hot swap. Mm-hmm. But it's never made it through an entire day for me.
Can you ask it how much battery it has? Because the way I found it explains it is very confusing.
Well, there's the internal battery and the booster battery.
And it describes it as both.
Yeah, I'll ask it. What's my battery?
88%. Booster 25%.
So built-in battery is at 88%, which it has been for a while. And the booster, which slowly drains during the day, is at 25%.
Okay, so it maintains the internal at 88 as much as possible.
It maintains the internal kind of at whatever it is when you put the booster on.
Oh, okay.
That's what I found.
That's what I found confusing is it's like I assumed that one would always be at 100.
Yeah.
But I guess it's letting it drain. But that's a confusing thing to say, what's my battery? And hear 2 numbers and then every time being like...
I think it makes sense physically. Like this is such a small system that like wirelessly charging it, I think would be just heat loss, just like all day. So I feel like it's just keeping it at whatever it's at and slowly draining the booster. And once the booster's dead, then it slowly drains the internal.
But that's not the case there, no?
Yeah.
Or I guess, did you change it when it drained the booster, then drained the main, and now you have a new booster on? Because it's 2 different, not full
It drained
numbers.
my booster, and then it started draining the main down to 88%, which is when I swapped on a new booster, and then the new booster started draining while it kept it at 88.
I feel like the easier way of doing that would just be like, you have approximately 4 hours of runtime.
Well,
in
that's the
current
thing.
Situation.
I've had drastically different amounts of battery life depending on what's happening. I've had an hour straight where I do nothing, and it drains completely. I've had an hour where I did a lot of video recording and it only drained 25%. So it's really hard to say how much time you have left based on what's happening. I will say it's always warm on my chest. But yeah, so the battery life question I will say is really, really not great, even though it's a tiny thing. The point is you have to charge it every single day. The other thing is it is heavy. So if you're wearing it on, they've got all these like thick clothes in their demos, which is super cool. But if you wear like a thin jersey like I do, or like a little lightweight hoodie or something like that, you're going to notice it's kind of like sagging a little bit.
Yeah, they do suggest, I think they would want you to put it up a tad higher. They basically said the seam of your shoulder and your sleeve, because they're closer together, is a tad tighter.
But then you're definitely not going to see a notification light.
No, I actually think you would see it better if it was out to the left here. It'd be more in your peripheral, and the notifications on the top right.
Yes, it's not a product that like demos well. You have to teach people how to use
it. Which is kind of confusing, but also you can learn how to use things. I still think even in its perfect placement, though, is a bit strange. And they do have like a couple different backings on it. There's one without a battery that's lighter, but I still think if you're wearing looser clothing, especially like jersey-esque material like Marques wears a lot, it's going to be all over the place.
So what are you doing now?
I'm just texting you back.
Oh,
with your hand? So you also have to pinch for this?
It's one of the ways to do things.
Yeah, like how much better is that than, or is it at all comparable to Vision Pro? Like the pinching eye tracking thing?
Okay. So the projector is fixed on your chest, right? So when you move your hand out, it's sort of a muscle memory of remembering where to put your hand to immediately have it project the UI onto your hand.
Oh.
Once you have it project onto your hand, the gestures work, but you need to sort of learn to keep your hand in place and calibrate yourself to how sensitive it is.
I was gonna say, can I ask? You said before it has no hand tracking. Does it have like minor adjustments when you're close in on it, or did you just mean like, it has to be in a particular place? It's just straight locked on.
Fixed, yeah. And it also seems to have a pretty generous amount of distance you can be from your hand because it's tracking that distance.
Okay.
So one of the pieces of the UI is like pinching, like you saw. That's like a selection. There's also moving around the UI by tilting my hand like there's a marble in my hand, and that's like how I select the piece of UI. That works kind of well, but it's kind of like you can imagine like an iPad game where you're tilting a marble around. It's like not easy, but you can do it. And then there's like moving your hand forward or backward in depth with UI. So like my passcode, when I put it in, I'm like selecting the numbers on like a moving carousel. So yeah, you can do it, but it's not fast. For me, I'm a week in. Maybe I'll get really good at it soon, but I'm not fast.
So I have a question. In its most magical, ideal, this is the perfect world state, what does this do better than a phone that the whole point isn't just you don't have to take out your phone?
Good question. I'll say two things.
Okay.
One is it's always with you all the time, so it can remember things if you just go, remember that Andrew's birthday is next week. And it'll just write it down, keep it in the little portal, which is a web portal. It's not even an app.
Memory.
And that's set.
Can you not do that with like a
No
Google
actions
Assistant?
required.
With like a Google Assistant button?
You can, but where does it write that stuff down?
It just remembers it. Because you can tell Google Assistant, I like to be called by this or like that kind of stuff, and it remembers that.
It's nice to have a little hub at the end of the day where I can go back and see all of the things that I told it to remember.
There's a physical place online you can do that?
Yeah, there's a Humane web portal.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So you sign in, you log in with your account, you have your Google title, Microsoft, Apple, all that stuff is signed in there. And then you have all of the photos and videos you took, all of your last few commands and what the answers were. And then, of course, the stuff you told it to remember.
Okay.
So that is one thing that it's currently better at than my phone. Okay. If I can't like grab my phone and write it down right away, that's at least nice.
Sure.
And then two is just like less screen time. That's kind of it. Like it can take pictures, but my phone takes better pictures. It can text and call people, but I can do that faster on my phone. I can look up facts, but I can do that faster on my phone. All the things that it does, I can do on my phone, but that means I'm using my phone. So if you really want to reduce your screen time and live a less distracted life, we have smart glasses as a form factor for that. We have a pin now as a form factor for that. That's a thing it can do.
Are they marketing this as a phone replacement or as a...
I think none of them are really
replacement.
able to make a good case to replace your phone. I think people watch the videos and feel like there's a future where maybe it could replace a phone.
Yeah.
But today, I think if you honestly ask them, we can all agree phones are pretty OP. Phones are great. And so there is no world in which this does everything your phone does. It doesn't have Spotify. It doesn't have podcasts. It doesn't have any apps, really. So it can't replace your phone today. But it's a companion app that you also charge every day and then maybe start using more and more during the day.
The problem with companion app, and this is still what I think is the thing that is my biggest gripe with this, is that if it's not replacing a phone, it should be connected to my phone and be the companion app of the thing that I don't need to pull my phone out, but that's my hub still. If I can't connect, I need to confirm if that's real, that it cannot connect to my messages and phone calls, because it just feels so not right.
Critical issue.
But I'm pretty sure I can't see how it would do that if it has some sort of forwarding, but then it's not pulling things from my phone. My phone's not forwarding back messages for it to read from.
And then you have to carry your phone anyway if it's paired via
I'd be
Bluetooth.
fine carrying my phone if it's my phone's in my backpack and I have this on me. That I think is fine. There's a place for something like that if it works well. I'm in your ideal world here. But all of that is kind of strange. A lot of the stuff they said is coming soon. There is going to be Google Calendar connections, but that's coming later and feels like something that probably should be there at launch. A lot of the things coming later feel like they should be there at launch to help make
Yeah.
this seem a little more useful. But
There's a really long list of features that I would like for it to do. Like if it could just see my Google Calendar, if I could just say, what's my next event? It can't even do that.
it says it's coming soon. Actually, David and I were having this conversation about in the I think one of the weirdest things about large language models or like assistants right now is why do they always have to read the entirety of every single thing? Like if I want to say,
Right.
there's an example they do where they're like, what's my next meeting? And it's like, your next meeting is like the MKBHD content meeting with Adam, Ellis, and David, and it's at 1:00. And then you're like, oh, is Tim going to be there? And it's like, Tim will not be attending the MKBHD content meeting with Alice.
Alice.
But
It seems like what large language models are doing right now is understanding the context of how you talk to devices. But what needs to happen as well is that they need to contextually talk to you like a human.
Yeah.
Because right now it's using contextual understanding of your language to fetch information, but then it's just taking that information as a glorb and then pulling that in and showing that to you. But until these models can actually like talk back to you like a normal person, then it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
no, sorry.
In this perfect world, I could see a future where you don't need your phone. For example, the Rabbit R1, theoretically, we haven't got to test it yet. The whole point of it is you should be able to, it connects to all of your apps and it learns how to use your apps like you would use your apps.
Right.
And in that world, if the Humane AI Pin had a large action model, as Rabbit likes to call it, and it knew how to use all your apps, and you could say, call me an Uber to this location. I could see a world where that is my only phone number, right? Where you're like, I'm going phoneless. I'm just not doing phones anymore at all. And I'm just having a dangling AI assistant that can do everything for me with all my apps and all that stuff.
I think you could get there. It's funny how much we use screens. I think there's like a last 10% that's going to be really, really hard to wean us off of screens. Because even if, let's say you could on this, you can't. But let's say you could call an Uber. And you said, you're in the city and you go, call me Uber to the studio. And you hear it go, bling, your Uber is on the way. And then you want to walk 1 block to the corner to the Starbucks and have it pick you up there. Yeah. What do you do on the pin? Oh, God, okay. Do I do the hand thing to do it? Do I go adjust my pickup location to my new location? Yeah. Like the last 10% is so annoying. Yeah. And if it was very human-like, it could handle that super easily. And that'll be the real impressive accomplishment of these large action models and large language models. But that is the hard part.
The other problem is that it's all voice-based.
Yeah.
And
correct.
And like speaker-based. And I just feel like that's a critical issue.
It is. Well, it does have the projector, so it's not all speaker-based. It can feed information through the projector.
Okay.
I don't have as much of an issue with the audio as you guys do. Maybe because I'm thinking of it like a person.
I'm just outside around people all the time.
If you had a little person on your shoulder that was like your actual human assistant,
I would hate that.
But imagine how functional he would be if you could just be like, hey, call me an Uber.
I mean, I just think either way, it can do text and audio, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you can always like
it has both.
Send
it does
text
have both,
and like he reads the text or something.
It just takes 10
I'm using this human as an analogy for my desire for an AI assistant.
Sure.
Like, how would I tell a person to do this?
And a thumbnail was born.
So it's like a little angel on my shoulder.
Marques on your shoulder.
I was picturing a leprechaun, but
that's cool too.
Cool.
It could be Jake from State Farm, whoever. I don't know, a little person on my shoulder. But yeah, I need to just communicate quickly what I need from them, and then they can take care of it.
Okay, so
what they know.
Big question. Why would I buy this?
I can say there is one other thing that we haven't talked about I think is it's still in my eyes not worth the price that it is, but its most impressive feature is the just like something next to you that can pretty much live translate if you're holding onto it. It seems like it's done a good job at that. It's quicker when it does that. From all the demos that I've seen, it seems pretty quick where you can just be like, and from what I remember, they said like, if you were to land in a country that has a language based around it, it would know where you are. And then if you press the certain gesture to do translation, it would translate English into Spanish.
Yep.
And then when they talk back to you, you can hold the same gesture and then it'll come back into English.
I think that is a cool feature. I think every tech demo always has a really, really cool translation demo.
Yeah.
And then
Correct.
the one time, you actually use it, you end up just like using Google Translate anyway. But in the off chance it works really well, I think that's great.
I guess what I'm saying is there are a lot of live translations. This has seemed like the best one.
The best
Still
one,
don't know
like,
how often I would use
the
it.
most natural feeling, kind of.
More like the one that said they're doing it and actually does it, unlike the Pixel Buds doing live translations and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And has a way to communicate back out without you having to like
Show them
attempt to read a different language and say that or show on your phone.
I mean, Google Translate. I mean, when I was in Japan using the Google Translate app, it's rock solid. I'll just
really?
type what I want to say and then hit it and it says it out loud.
Yeah.
And then the taxi driver
Oh.
goes, okay.
It's
and then if they say something, I just record it and then it translates it. And I'm like, I get it.
Okay.
I'll just
I
like,
never
that's
used
it.
it.
It's really amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
Well,
it works.
nice.
So why would you want to buy it?
Yeah.
Who should buy the Humane Pin today? Today. It's $700. It's $24 a month. If you are
Crazy.
if
Only
you
Brandon.
really, really, really want to reduce your screen time, like at the expense of your own sanity, you would just love to look at screens way, way less than you do now. So you're willing to offset some of the stuff that you do now with a screen to a device without a screen. You can do that today with the Humane Pin. It will take longer to do many things. You will do many things worse than you originally would have. Your photos will look worse. Your videos will be less than 60 seconds. You will just have less capabilities. You will have a new phone number. You'll have to charge another device. All of these things are true, but you will have less screen time. Mission accomplished. That person can buy the Humane AI Pin. That is the only person that I think I would recommend it to today in its current state. Maybe it'll get some updates, new capabilities. Maybe I'll reevaluate. Maybe I'll be really impressed with some updates that it comes out with, and maybe I'll want to use it for something else. But as of right now, I just don't enjoy using it.
It's tough. I really feel like the majority of videos that you see trying to show it off feel very like when Google Home first came out and we're like, how tall is the Empire State Building? How long is the George Washington Bridge? Like, it's just some kind of random facts. How far away is the moon? And I feel like $800 for that is. I know that's like putting it down into a small thing, but
I think that
there's not a ton.
I think what you're observing is it's a really hard product to explain why people would want to use. I think Vision Pro had a similar problem where it's so cool as a tech demo, and then you go open it up and put it on someone's eyes and they go, what do I do? Like, at least they know VR headsets can play games, but they're like, what do I do with this? A lot of other tech has really, really obvious use cases. Like when the iPod came out, for example, it's like, oh, yes, I want to listen to music everywhere. I couldn't do that before. Lots of tech has had this moment. I think this is a super, super cool, interesting, very unique piece of tech, from the projector to the AI to the form factor of a pin. I just don't have a use for it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem most people will probably have with it.
I've also got to say, in the analogy to Google Home, I think that the tension of having to charge another thing and also having to have another thing in general, this is a problem with the Rabbit as well. You have to charge
wear it
You got to keep it with you in your
and
pocket.
carry the batteries.
Carry it. Like, that tension is so strong because with the Google Home, you keep it in your home all the time and it's just always available and there, and you do not have to think about anything else.
No friction.
There's no friction. It's just an option. It's an option, whereas this one's like, try to use it for 80% of your things.
I will say,
please.
When we went to this, when we went to this trip to go shoot the car, the day that we flew out there, which we had a bunch of cool stuff to do, I had this thought at the beginning of the day, which is like, I don't want to wear this today. There is so much friction of, number one, I have to drive the seatbelt. Don't want to do that. Number two, we're going to go to an airport with security with like the metal detector. I got to take it off again, take it out. I got to keep the extra batteries in my backpack. I got to swap out, like, am I going to take a jacket off on the plane and then I have to restick the pin again? Like, I thought of so many reasons why I didn't want to carry it and wear it that day that I just didn't.
Charging. Oh, wait, I just realized charging is only through that like stand, right? There's no just USB-C you can plug into the battery or the actual device.
Is it inductive?
There's a couple things. I'll tell you every single way you can charge. Okay. So right now I have a battery booster on the back attached to it, and I have a separate battery booster back at my desk. So there's a little cradle that I put the booster in that inductively charges it. That's one way. So that's charging on the cradle right now.
Okay.
The other way is there's a little like AirPods case looking thing, and you can put you can put it in there and close that, and it'll charge in there.
And that is USB-C?
That has USB-C.
Okay, cool.
So if you want to plug that case into the wall, you can, and then you can plug either the booster or the pin with the booster on it in there, and it'll close and that'll charge.
Okay.
Those are all of the ways you can charge, and this is currently sitting at. It's so warm for no reason. What's my battery?
87%. Booster 14%.
Okay,
Remember
so the booster
earlier
was
we were at
25.
now it's 14.
And the
really done
normal battery went down from
By
88 to
1%.
87.
Yeah.
Can I feel how warm it is? Not outside here? Sorry, I'm going in your shoulder a little.
HR.
It's like, it's not crazy warm,
It's
but
just
it's
weird to
enough
feel
of
that
a
warmth
warm.
on you.
Yeah, like there's just something about something with a battery feeling that warm against your skin.
And it's the weight of it, and it's just a little bit of like thinking.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Jacket maybe not so bad.
The pictures and video thing reminds me of Beam. Remember it? Whereas like to take the photo where you can't really frame it, you had to stick your phone against your chest so that you couldn't see the frame, and that's how it would take it and automatically post. Like, you don't get to see this. It takes like 3 photos.
You know, it's one of my saddest takeaways from this. That smartphones are just like
Awesome.
so good.
Yeah.
And I know we're looking at like headsets and smart glasses and all these other phones. And the Rabbit's just like a deck of cards stack, and like the pin. Like we have all these other cool gadget experiments, but like smartphones are good.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to take out the smartphone.
It's going to be hard.
So
yeah. And like it will happen eventually.
Maybe.
Maybe we're
Will
just
it? I
super
don't know.
early.
Smartphones are.
I think it'll happen eventually.
Breaking news: Marques Brownlee thinks smartphones are good.
I'm just saying. In case you didn't know, man.
I think that it's good that tech like this is being funded because exploring new concepts and ideas and form factors is good. And then also they invent new things. For example, the Vision Pro, there had never been a micro LED display that had been that dense ever, right? They had to invent a new screen technology. For this, that projector is pretty sick.
Dude, that projector, like, I mean, conceptually it might be a little flawed, but to pull off a laser projector that small, with that
You're all caught up?
Thanks.
with that sort of focal distance, is there's 2 mirrors in there.
Dude,
Wow.
It bounces twice from the diode before coming out.
the
front.
projector on
Like,
this thing is actually pretty impressive. I had extremely little faith, but like you can see it very well. Controlling it is a whole nother story. I think that's kind of clunky, but like being able to see it in bright light
You can see it in the sunlight.
is pretty. Well, I mean, we've been doing it in here with the huge windows behind us, and I've never had an issue seeing it.
That's pretty crazy.
Also, you know, to get a little more focal distance, they have that mirror system, and your shirt moves. You walk around like that's like a feat, you know, that they accomplished.
Yeah.
Again, hardware on this is great. I think it looks kind of like an Apple Watch with a forehead, but
Yeah.
but the actual hardware, the hand feel of it, everything of it feels super premium, and it seems like they put a wild amount of work into making it do what it does.
And the idea of a mobile computer that it is impossible to doom scroll on,
Yeah.
good. That's good.
Right.
That is good.
I think that in almost every category in tech, there's things that have to walk so that something else can run. And like, you know,
This is crawling, baby.
this is the very
this is
beginning.
The
It's
fish
crawling.
first out of water, like
sure.
slugging across the
This fish
shore.
doesn't have lungs yet.
Yeah.
It's gasping.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's good that we're experimenting, but it's the very beginning of this like AI push. And maybe we see that almost none of this AI stuff is that handy, but, or at least in a hardware format. We'll see.
I am interested to see when more people get this and figure some more things out about it, because like,
Yeah.
I do think it's really easy for a company to make something and be in love with it and think everything is amazing, and then maybe don't do a very good job of showing off what it's like. But then it gets into the hands of people who will just put it through the ringer and like maybe find some really cool things. So in a few months, maybe some people find some really interesting things to do about it. Don't know if that will save everything we talked about today, but
The fact that it takes a few months is fascinating, because like I think you should any new form factor you think you'll have like a killer app meaning like physical application, like with the headset on, the killer app is I can put you in another world right now. Okay, sure,
Yeah.
I'll try it. With the iPod, you had the killer app. With the boosted board, you had a killer app. Like all these form factors had a killer app, and with this pin, what's the killer app? I don't know.
Yeah, I do think there is this weird tension between privacy and usefulness.
Oh yeah,
I totally agree.
In a perfect world, if we didn't give any care about privacy whatsoever, and the camera was always recording, right, or at least taking like an image every 15 seconds, so that at any time you could just be like, where are my keys? Where are my keys? They're on the couch. Boom. That'd be great. It listens to every conversation
Are
that
you
you
saying
have.
you want a better Google Clip?
Google Clips, yeah. Yeah.
Well, think of the human version of that. The human's on your shoulder all the time. So
Yeah.
the second you put your keys down, he noticed.
Yeah, there's another AI product coming out soon, I think, called the Rewind Pendant, and it does exactly that.
Sounds like from Harry Potter or something.
Yeah, it like hangs in the center of your chest, and it has a little camera, and then it records all audio and all video of everything that you do all day.
Does it die in like an hour? every
Yeah,
day?
and what storage
idea.
system do you
Wow.
need to
It's like uploaded to the cloud of your phone or
Entirely
something.
local on your phone, yeah.
Local on your phone.
entirely local on your phone? You have to just dump
So
footage
it's
every
privacy,
night.
it's privacy for you, but for nobody else.
Wow.
So I don't think we're ever going to live in that world, even if that's the most ideal world, because that's the world in which this would be helpful. And that's kind of an allegory to all of this like large language model technology, is that it just needs more information. Like you were saying, if it has all the information about you all the time, then it's great. And that's why I think that Google is probably in the best position of all of these companies, because they have all of these services that just
shamelessly
have all your
collected
information.
it.
Yeah, you just press once, you just tap allow Google to access everything about you. Yes. Boom. Great AI product.
Yeah.
But anything that's third party that's not based on your accounts is going to have a hard time.
The philosophy of this product feels like a lot of Apple engineers worked on it. It's like a beautiful hardware device that like they expect you to use exclusively. You know, like it plugs into other things. Oh, there it is. It plugs
Battery
into
low.
other things, but they really want, like, they expect you to just use this, not your phone. It doesn't connect with your phone. You get a whole new number. You know, like it's very Apple-y.
It is confusing because I still don't think they say that you shouldn't use your phone, but at the same time, they make it like you shouldn't use your phone.
Yeah.
It's confusing. I'm a little.
I don't
I'm very
understand
confused
how
by
they
a lot
couldn't
of
figure out text message forwarding or something like that. I
Just
just
connect to your phone.
it's insane.
I actually think this would have a lot more life breathed into it if it was a companion to your phone.
100% agree.
Yeah.
If it was like a accessory,
It can still have its own number and stuff for if there's times where you decide you don't want to bring your phone. But then if like, because there's the Apple
have the
Watch
same
can
phone.
do that, right?
so this is the big thing with the Apple Watch versus other watches, and part of the lawsuit was that the Apple Watch has your same phone number when you add cellular to it, but no other smartwatches with LTE can do that. Only the Apple Watch can. That's why that was part of the lawsuit. But this is the thing: the Apple Watch, it has the same phone number as you, so why can't this do it?
I think like this might be philosophical, but if we look at this more in the vein of this is a future form factor that you might wear all the time, like smart glasses or Vision Pro, for example. Vision Pro does not connect to your phone. And I think if they set the precedent now that it connects to your phone, you'll never be okay with it not connecting to your phone.
I see what you're saying.
So if it connects to your phone now and they aim for you to in 5 years use it totally separate from your phone and you announce it no longer connects to your phone, that just doesn't fly.
I like want to argue with you, even though I know that doesn't mean that's what you think it should do. But
Right.
I mean, cool. It's got to make it that long then. And I think if it's right now in a position where it's not connected to your phone, maybe someone in the comments can be like what they're really excited to use this for and what they plan on actually changing in their life because of it. But like,
Yeah.
I have such a hard time telling anyone to even think about purchasing this.
Yeah. I would think that within a year or so they will get purchased by another company for the hardware technology, and that's pretty much it.
For the talent, the intellectual property, and the hardware design.
Yeah. Yeah. The projector specifically.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I do think we should let them continue to develop and hope they get that far. We should take a break. We've gone for like an eternity on
Yeah,
this.
sorry.
I am working on the full review, so hopefully on the main channel soon you'll hear a succinct version of my thoughts and my experience using the Humane Pin. But we still have headlines in a hat over there. I see some headlines in a hat. So we're going to take a quick break, and before that, we should do some Trivia.
Howdy, friends. So our audience responded just so positively
Ugh, glad. Thank
to
God.
our crazy frog question 2 weeks ago. So I decided to go back to the YouTube top 30 all-time list for another banger of a question. Of the top 30 YouTube videos, the top 30 most viewed YouTube videos of all time, how many are not
Music videos.
songs, music videos, or content for young children?
Of the top 30.
Of the top 30, how many are not
Dang.
songs, music videos, or content for young children? And before you ask me to define content for young children,
You know exactly what the hell
you
that
know
means.
exactly what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, I like Baby Shark.
That is
That is a
really
song,
good-
a music video, and content for small children.
There are a few on the list that are all three. That is correct.
Yeah. There's definitely some K-pop. How many are K-pop is my question.
K-pop.
Okay. I have a guess. We'll probably all have guesses. We'll think about it. We'll be right back. Support for this episode of Waveform comes from Shopify. So selling things used to be a huge hassle. You'd have to load all your spices or jewelry or whatever onto a horse-drawn wagon and make a dangerous journey that would take weeks. Now we can sell things on the internet, and the entire process takes about 15 minutes, and you don't even have to leave your house. It's all thanks to platforms like Shopify. So Shopify is the global commerce platform that's flexible enough to help your business sell at every stage of growth, whether that means getting your new soda brand off the ground or racing to increase production of your stuffed crocodile dolls due to international demand. So no matter what you're making, Shopify can help you sell it everywhere. From its all-in-one e-commerce platform to the in-person point-of-sale system, Shopify offers the flexibility to support your operation. And right now, it's easier to stress less and sell more with Shopify Magic, an AI-powered helper created to give you a little boost. And so you can try it for yourself and see why companies like Allbirds and Brooklinen have used their platform to power their growth. So sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/waveform. So go to shopify.com/waveform now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/waveform. All right, welcome back. That's the sound of headlines
In a what?
in a hat, of course.
Oh.
Headlines in a hat.
Excited.
Since this is just an abbreviated section of the podcast instead of the whole episode today, we're going to do like a reaction style headlines in a hat. So we're going to get the headline, and then I want everyone's one sentence reaction. How does that sound?
We have a lot of headlines.
I want everyone to know that Marques thought about this during the commercial break.
I think it's a good idea.
yeah.
We're probably 6 hours into this week's pod, so I think it's a good idea. All right. First headline reads Tesla robotaxis. I think the headline in full, I'll find it.
I'm like imagining the one sentence as like we need to each say a sentence and go around like the create your own story with one word.
Are
The headline-
not ever going to come out.
All this really is Elon Musk says Tesla will reveal its robotaxi on August 8th. That's the headline.
What's your one sentence?
Nice flick.
My one sentence reaction. What the hell is even that?
What about Model 2?
Well, that got okay. Was that supposed to be me now?
Yeah.
Oh, canceled.
I think we'd teamwork that pretty well.
yeah.
Alternate headline reaction. What year? Okay.
Wait, it just says April 8th. It doesn't say.
Yeah, sure.
That would be really funny.
August 8th, not April.
August 8th,
All right.
sorry.
They theoretically canceled the Model 2 project.
Yeah.
No $25,000 taxi car, and the robo taxis are probably going to be scary.
They've been telling people, they've been saying robotaxis are just your car, but with self-driving. It's like, what do you
Oh,
mean?
wait, yeah, how are they announcing it?
I don't know.
What the hell?
Man, this is the longest run-on
Yeah,
sentence
that's-
between three
sorry.
people.
You get
No,
the-
I'm just kidding.
All right,
I don't
yeah,
care. I think we
okay.
should
All
say
right,
something
This was
about
me
it.
trying to reach the word limit in high school.
Yeah.
Google AI editing features comes to Google Photos.
Called it.
Includes Magic Editor, Magic Eraser, Photo and Blur, Portrait Light. Oh, so it's coming to Google Photos for free.
For everybody for free.
And Google Photos like online.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Dope.
On the app.
That's my one word. That's
Okay.
dope.
My sentence is caveat : there are hardware requirements. So on Chrome OS,
Oh.
You have to have a Chromebook Plus device
What?
with 3 gigs of RAM or higher, and Chrome OS version 118 or higher. You have to have a phone with Android 8.0 or iOS 15 or higher. That's my sentence.
Can I redo my sentence?
What if I'm on iOS?
iOS 15 or higher. So
It has to be Chrome OS on a computer?
no, if you're doing
Chrome.
it on Chrome OS.
Oh, okay.
So this all tells me
Sorry.
that there is some local processing happening as well as the cloud, which is surprising to me. Anyway, Marques needs a reply to this.
Just like clockwork.
True. Everything Google eventually becomes free and comes to everybody.
In
Okay.
exchange for all your data.
Quest 3 gets lying down mode. My one sentence.
My legs.
Meta, thank God for Vision Pro for beta testing what we need to do to make a very popular VR headset.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it your turn or my turn?
You can go.
I've got one.
Oh, okay.
It didn't have that? Question mark?
Why would
Right?
I,
Like,
why would I need
You
that?
couldn't lay down in the Quest before?
I'm sure it's trying to look and see the ground through the bottom, and once you lie down, it can't see the ground, and it's confused. I don't know.
That would be my guess. Is that like
Yeah.
the floor detection is such an integral part to
Yeah.
the MetaQuest OS
Yeah.
that
Sometimes.
This is Quest 3, by the way. It already got pushed to Quest 2 like a few weeks ago.
Thank you.
Which is
Okay.
ironic.
Marques, what's your sentence?
Not going to use that.
You're not going to lay in bed and watch Dune 2?
No.
All right.
I might lean back in a chair, but on the ground?
On the
I would
Marquez is watching Dune. Confirmed. Confirmed.
Not on the ground.
In bed, I guess. Mm.
I would do that.
Why?
Lay on the ground with the VR headset?
Oh my
I could do whatever the hell I want with the VR headset. I'm not on the ground. I'm in the VR.
Apple publishes paper on Ferret UI. Apple's teaching an AI system to make sense of app screens. Could power an advanced Siri.
Wait, can I go first?
Sure.
I'm giving my sentence to David so he can have 2 sentences.
Okay.
Because I feel like you're going to have.
I'm giving my sentence to David so he can have 3 sentences.
Wow. Incredible.
I'll give my No, I'm taking mine back actually. So now you have 2.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Careful.
Siri can now see stuff in your world.
Your sentence can still be in like flowing English.
Oh, okay. Rabbit's entire concept was supposed to be able to make sense of apps and act for you, comma. Now, Siri or whatever iOS may be able to make sense of your apps, etc., comma. And therefore, it may be able to act on actions much like a large action model might. Period. Sentence 1. Sentence 2.
Oh, wait. Can I take my sentence back?
Oh.
Just kidding. No, you keep going.
I mean, I'll do 2 and then you can take 1 back.
Okay, perfect.
This is what we would say would. This is what we said would happen.
That's what I
And my third sentence is, Rabbit said that they patented the hell out of this. Period. I mean, comma. So what's gonna happen now?
Semicolon.
Question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ellipses.
Yeah, I would say this is what Rabbit was afraid of. Semicolon. I bet Apple's lawyers will find a way to do this without infringing any of Rabbit's patents.
Yeah.
That's my sentence.
Also, between Rabbit and then Humane.
Whoa.
That's a lot of sentences.
How many sentences? No, you can keep going.
Ask how many sentences.
If these both flop, at least Rabbit already sold like 100,000 of them, and we'll get a bag.
Do you know how many Humanes sold?
I don't think they made that public.
I don't think they should.
Damn.
$700.
Yeah, it's $700. The Rabbit one was it was close enough to the like, this looks fun and interesting and is teenage engineering-esque, and it's $200.
And it's not a subscription.
And it's not a
The
subscription.
commitment is $200, and you just get the toy and you play with it. And if you hate it, it sucks and throw it away.
Yeah.
If you buy the Humane Pin, it's $700 and a contract and a new phone number, and new people have a new phone number for you, and
Yeah.
you pay $24 a month for however long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Commitment. Just saying.
So,
Okay, that's a lot of sentences.
Wait, don't I get a sentence? I didn't
Oh,
get
yeah,
a sentence.
sorry.
if you want, yeah.
My sentence is, Both Apple and Rabbit picked stinky animals.
Are rabbits stinky?
Ferrets are stinky. Yeah.
Yes, both stinky.
Probably because they don't take showers.
Says who? Ferrets take like dust baths. No, those are chinchillas.
What's a dust? No, we got to get through this. episode. Google it if you're curious.
Yeah.
I know I will.
I love good dust baths.
Beeper acquired by Automatic.
Yes.
Is that how you pronounce it? Are there 2 T's in Automatic?
Yeah, there are. Wait, in the company name, not in the actual word. Yeah.
That was my sentence.
Well, that's just the headline. Oh, are there 2 T's in automatic? Okay.
Did they spell that right?
Was Beeper the one that signed you in Eastern Europe?
No.
No, that was the other one.
That was
Doesn't matter.
Sunbird.
Okay, thank
which
you.
got obliterated and is apparently coming back. By the way, I saw a headline about
They're
this.
not buried under Nothing's headquarters.
They should be. Okay. My sentence is Beeper was acquired by the people who make WordPress and Tumblr, comma. They are now merging with text.com, which was basically the alternative form of Beeper. And now Beeper is open to everybody, so they had a $450,000 person wait list that is now just open to everyone. That's my sentence.
My sentence is, I don't get it. Just use WhatsApp.
Marques, do we really want to go down this road?
I'm content farming, guys. Come on.
Maybe I should just try one of these things, quote, comma, because I don't understand it.
I
That's
think
not fun.
Blue
I
Bubbles
just,
is not worth it.
Well, you
I
can't.
get the idea
You've
of
made it this far.
all messages in one inbox.
You don't
which is
get
what
like
text.com
iMessage
is.
back. You don't get iMessage.
You made it this far. Why even?
It's like a consolidation like platform that takes everything from Instagram DMs to.
I prefer
LinkedIn
the
DMs.
context switching, to be honest.
I also do.
They also make Pocket Casts.
Yeah, automatic.
I didn't know
They
that.
own it.
They own it. They didn't make it. Yeah.
Right,
They've acquired a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know that was part of their portfolio.
Yeah, they've got an incredible portfolio.
That's
I love
my
all their
sentence.
products.
This is good for open ecosystems.
Yeah.
Because a lot of their like philosophy is things like that. Pocket Cast, Tumblr, and WordPress, they're all very open. And now they've bought Beeper, which is nice.
Yeah.
Leave that in.
Google Vids. Okay. This one, Google just unveiled Google Vids, which is effectively Google Slides, but for video. So effectively, you can collect a bunch of assets from Google Drive and turn them into a video. And the aim is to make it as easy as possible to create a video dash. It's very workspacey / like corporate in the way that the point is that you can collect a bunch of assets and then do like a voiceover or record from your webcam. And they just make an incredibly simple UI that allows you to do like a little 2-minute tutorial that you can share with your team or that kind of thing, because most people don't have, video creation features, and what they're probably doing right now is pointing their phone at a screen, and it's just terrible.
Semicolon.
Actually, yes, semicolon. I think that we helped develop this question. Well, I can't use a question mark. That's the end of the sentence. Develop this, comma, because a year ago, Google called me and asked me about our video production process and specifically about the video editing workflows that we use.
A lot of the companies ask about that, and then they just don't do anything useful.
They said they were making a video editing app, and that's what this is. So that sounds like Google, because when they talked to me originally, it sounded like they were trying to make like a Final Cut competitor, but then it became corporate.
Yeah, they're like, we can't sell ads in this.
Yeah.
Let's change it.
So
My sentence?
yes.
Start the countdown timer. I genuinely believe this will be dead.
This is in a brutal mood today.
I read the headline for this one. I was like, this one's gone in 3 years.
Yeah.
100%. I'd put money on it.
I have one. Cool for teachers.
Yeah. Yeah, they can send it to their students.
Clara's done like so many like quick video things for her students, especially when they were doing like remote stuff. This would be
Yeah.
huge for teachers.
I'm going to try to keep this to a sentence, but I hard disagree with you, Marquez. I think this is their CapCut. How TikTok has CapCut, a video editing thing.
Yeah, but sorry, continue.
Yeah, I was just going to say this is their version of that. Like I could see them.
But it's not for like making videos for social media. It's specifically
How do
for
you know
like.
that? They could just easily add a template that's vertical and for social
I mean,
media.
you have to pull in things from like Google Drive.
Okay.
I think both
That's
of you
fine.
can be right. This could be the next
True.
big thing, but when
then
it
they'll still
becomes
kill
it,
it.
they'll name it something else and kill Google Vids.
Oh yeah.
I just
I think that there's a lot of, assuming the team is funded enough to continue adding features through the 3-year lifespan it will have.
big assumption.
I do think there's a lot of niches it can fill. Like there's just a lot of like weird online video editing apps that do like very specific things. Like have you guys ever used Headliner before?
No.
It's like a pretty popular one where it's for podcasters. So you like connect it with your RSS feed. It automatically pulls the art. You give it a time code of your last episode, and it automatically generates you a video with captions for social media. And I think if they can build little features into it like that to fill these like very niche uses, it'll be a pretty essential part of the G Suite.
I actually think it could be really cool
it's
for a
good.
lot of different scenarios.
Yeah, for teachers, it would be great. So
Yeah.
maybe as like a competitor to iMovie, but maybe as like, yeah, to like fill in these niche video tools. Also, the was not a punctuation mark, so this is probably still one sentence.
Also, it's all online, which is really cool. Like
Yeah.
you just do it all in the cloud, and I don't know. As part of the Google One workspace, I feel like it makes a lot of sense.
Is that what it's called now?
I think it's great. I just
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if it doesn't make $1 billion,
yeah. Hey, look, I
Google
got one.
Podcast
I
would
got
like
one headline left in the hat. Is it my turn?
Put the hat on.
I don't know. Sure.
All right. Here's the last headline.
Oh, this is the shortest one.
Google Gemini 1.5 Pro can now understand audio. My sentence is, the spaghetti was like 1 year ago.
True.
Um,
I think it was less than that. Sorry.
also, you can TLDR waveform.
Don't give them ideas.
Listen to the whole thing. And like and
Twice. Yeah.
Well, hey, that's the last headline. We did it.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this extensive 6-hour special version of Waveform. For making it to the end, we offer you the privilege of commenting the word snickerdoodle and knowing what it means, because you got this far and others who didn't get this far won't know what that means. But when you see it, in the comments section and you type that, you'll know you're one of the people who got this far.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think it's trivia time.
Cool.
I forgot about Tristan. The snickerdoodle thing really threw me off.
For a loop.
Quick update on the score. Marquez in the lead with 6. Andrew and David bringing up the rear with 5 each.
Do you have any eraser?
No, thank you.
Okay, first question. How many teeth do adult humans have? Google Jamboard. Pixel Pass.
And remember, these are Price is Right rules. Guess too many teeth and you're out.
Google OnHub. Google Stadia. Threadit.
Aloe.
Threadit?
Threadit.
When was that?
Killed over 1 year ago, Threadit was a
Inbox.
tool for recording and sharing short videos. It was almost 2 years old.
So Google Vids got killed already?
Interesting.
Already got killed.
Interesting.
Oh my god.
Flip 'em and read. What do you got?
Oh boy.
Wow, we all counted very differently.
We all have a delta of 2.
Marquez, let me count your teeth.
I just counted. I have 28, or I had 28,
Are you sure about that?
so I said 28.
You had 28?
I had 28. Now I have 24, according to my count. My count was with my tongue. I don't know. 28 is my answer.
28 is below the correct answer.
That's
David,
good.
what do you have?
30.
30 is also below the
Dang.
correct answer, which puts you ahead of Marquez. Andrew,
32.
which is the exact number of teeth.
Best
in your
counter
mouth.
in waveform.
Wow.
That's what I was gonna guess, but I wanted to lowball it.
32 teeth, huh?
Let's go.
A good strategy, David, but
Yeah.
Got
unfortunately,
great white sharks out here.
Hold on. We all counted our teeth and all got different answers.
I didn't count my teeth. I tried, and then I couldn't tell the difference if like my teeth just kind of had a little wavy part, or if it was a separate tooth. Yeah, I gave up.
I also didn't count my teeth because I knew the answer.
I thought it was 32.
I just got the same number again.
You
I think
better
you're
call
missing
that.
some
Yeah.
teeth.
Sure, they
That-
didn't take 8.
Are you sure they didn't take a couple extra out? That earthquake knocked a couple.
Whoops.
That would explain the massive cavity. Wow.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay. Well, fair play, Andrew. Well played.
Okay. Good job.
Tied for lead now, right? Or is Marquez 2 ahead of me?
No,
You're
you're
tied.
tied in first place. You
I wanna get
carried
this
the
one.
one, bro.
Is this also Price is Right rules? This next one?
No.
Got to get the exact number.
I don't know. What do you guys? I can.
What
I
is the
don't want to do
question?
prices.
No,
Should we
yeah.
do? Why don't we do?
Closest delta.
Yeah, let's do closest delta for this one.
I like
Okay.
that.
All right. So, of the top 30 most viewed YouTube videos of all time, how many are not? How many are not songs, music videos, or content for young children? YouTube Go, Android Auto for phone screens, Angular JavaScript, cameos on Google, Android Things, Google My Business. I was on a plane today. I'm feeling a little loopy. Google Duo, Material Gallery, Google
What
Toolbar.
about Allo or Inbox?
Next week.
Next week.
I'm glad this is a bit.
All right. What do we got? All right.
Wow.
Marquez.
I said 1.
David.
3.
I said 0.
That is correct.
Let's go.
Andrew.
I erased it.
There
I
are
erased
no
it.
Wait.
I erased it.
Oh, I'm a dummy.
Why? What did you?
I was thinking Me at the Zoo was.
No.
It's not that.
That's a music
popular
video.
of it.
We're top 30. We're talking like 2 billion plus every single one.
Let me
Dang,
see.
look
Yeah,
at
the 30th.
Andrew over here.
I felt like 0 is either like feels like a genius or what an idiot
I was gonna
answer.
guess
So
one.
I
You
went-
actually, it's the number 30, which is Lean On by Major Lazer, has 3.57 billion views. So you got to really rack them up to make this list.
I actually wrote 0 and erased it, but I should have gotten that right, and that's on me.
When you erased it, were there videos you thought were in?
No, because I knew the fact that almost every single one is a music video, and I was like, how many are not music videos? And I knew like Peppa Pig, there's a couple, and I was like, there's probably like 4. But then I remember you said also children's content, and I'm like, dang, I think all of them are either children's content or music videos. I was like, but
Yeah.
it can't be all of them. So I put 1. But yeah, well played, Andrew.
Thank
that's
you.
that's
Look
a
at
good
Andrew
answer.
Taking a
You all thought about a lot of YouTube. I thought about how's Ellis going to screw us over on this one.
I might have to start thinking about that.
Yeah, you were smart about that.
Play the game.
I don't usually do trick questions. I play a fair game of trivia.
My point this week suggests otherwise.
On that note, we will wrap up the pod. Thanks again for watching and listening. Snickerdoodle, we appreciate you. Subscribe. Catch you in the next one. Peace.
Bye.
I'm very tired. Waveform is produced by Adam Molina and Ellis Robin. We're partnered with the Vox Media Podcast Network, and our intro outro music was created by Vane Silk. Are we only counting mouth teeth?